Yeah, it's going down, man. It's Donnie Houston Podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. We got a very special guest in the house today, man. When we talk about, legends, real legends, man, making real contributions to this Houston hip-hop thing, man, we talk about these female MCs, man. We had these women coming through, man, really coming and coming just as hard as the dudes, man. And, it was a few names, man, but one for sure that you always heard and always stuck out, man, was today's guest, Cliche. What's going on?
Hold up.
What's going down?
For real, what's up with it, Mr. Donnie Houston? What's up?
Chilling, man. How you feeling?
Donnie Houston and Miss Houston. You know what I'm talking about?
For sure. And we got DJ Tricky sitting here. We can't forget that. You know what I mean?
What's going on, H-Town? I'm Clark representing.
Clark in here, for sure. South Park in here.
Already.
What's going on? What's new with y'all?
Man, we hear what's new. Them South Park kicks right there. Y'all got to check out the South Park kicks. SPC versus all y'all. Make sure y'all holler at my boy PSK. Y'all see that right there? That's Cliche. That's Murder One. That's K-Rino. That's Rapper K. South Park Coalition, baby, phone cases, all that. Miss Houston Shop.com is what's new. That's what's new. It's a whole lot where this come from, though.
MissHoustonShop.com.
That's what's new. That's new right now. MissHoustonShop.com. We got the kicks, the T-shirts, the leggings, phone cases, all the kind of screwed up and South Park Coalition stuff that you will love. Miss Houston Shop got it. That's what's new.
That's what's new. So you've been focusing more so on the merchandising side and all that.
I would say I've always focused on merchandise. Merchandising is anything that's making the money that I'm selling.
Right.
That's the music, whether it's a song, whether it's a feature, whether it's a show, whether it's clothes, whether it's the CDs itself, hand to hand, whatever it is. So I always been doing that. So that's one of my business. That's one of my entities, MissHoustonShop.com. That's one of them.
Yeah. So
not the only one.
What else you got then? Come on.
I have so much stuff. I got Miss Houston Taxes. I have a tax company. I have Miss Houston Shop, which is, of course, my online store. I have my music career, Cliche. I already ain't stopped, still dropping albums. Miss Houston, the album is actually coming soon. I know I've been saying that for a couple of years now, but it is coming. I got some hits for y'all on that boy, for real. And I have a lot of other stuff that I personally do on the side, with my own personal clientele with hair and different stuff like that. I've been doing all my life, to be honest, so everybody know that. So shout out to all Cliche clients, you know what I'm talking about.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So with the music, I mean, how early does it start with you with the music and everything? 'Cause I know you got into it pretty young, right?
Yeah, I actually, I started doing music, I'm talking about as long as I've been able probably to really like write and talk. But I got into the industry, I want to say around the age of 13. That's when I started doing like talent shows and stuff like that. When Wicked Cricket was alive, RP OG Wicked Cricket, I used to go to Club Rhythms when I was like a very young teenager, like 13, 14 years old. Remember, I don't know if you remember, I don't know how old you are. Just Joking?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Just Joking, talent shows. Beyonce did talent shows there. Like I used to do talent shows at Worthing when I was at Worthing High School. So yeah, I'll let know.
And I mean, just at the same time, not just rapping, but also singing as well.
Definitely. So I started out, to be honest, doing, I love to sing since I was a little bitty kid. But when I was doing poetry, I started writing and doing poetry. I used to like putting the words together when I learned how to kind of write and make them rhyme, and I was like, cool. But I was still singing. I love R&B. That's my first pick, R&B before rap. And I'm a rap artist, yes, but I love R&B. Shout out to all the real R&B artists out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Escape, Selmo 2. I'm talking about Key Sweats. I'm talking about Jodeci.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
with R&B. Yeah,
I'm talking about the real R&B. That's what I grew up on. So I love my Aunt Monica. Can't leave you out, girl. So the real R&B, that's where I started it. But then the words start coming together as I'm writing poetry. And then all of a sudden, it was chicks like Queen Latifah that was rapping that consciousness queen this. But whoa, she was on it. Then that MC Light was hitting hard as a rock. Come on, MC Light. Then I started hearing. Then as I'm growing up, by 12, And then I started hearing this chick named the Brat. Brat was coming through and she was hitting them boy. Yes. And then I can't forget, even before the Brat, I gotta say this, it was my girl Boss. I don't really wanna feel. Classic. Got a big shout out to Boss, straight up. I don't even think I ever met Boss personally, but I think I
Boss
may
was hard,
have.
Man.
I think I may have spoke with her like through social media, like, you know, just giving props, you know what I mean, to her. And it's just like, I'm like, man, just seeing the women that were in a dominant field, you know what I mean? But then I was like, yeah, but all the women that was coming out, they was coming out so hard, looking like a dude. I'm like, no, you gotta be cute, but be just as hard as that. So that's where the classified lady came from, because I'm gonna be classy, but I'm gonna spell it classified, because you know when you're young, your mind running so CLASYFYD. Cause I'm classified for whatever. That's what I used to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna spell it different. 2 Y's, no I's, cause I'm classified for whatever, baby. I had something to say with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I was like, let me keep the whole woman classy appeal, but be just as hard as any dude that was rocking it. And that was my drive right there. I'm gonna be just as hard as him, whoever you think is dope and hard, but I'm gonna still be cute. But I'm gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing when I was like 12 or 13, putting
That's
me
how
together.
you was putting your image together.
Putting that clear, what my name should be. Cause then my homeboy, shout out to Crime Boss, the original Crime Boss.
Another legend.
And that's how I started in the game. I was in the studios with RQ and Crime Boss. Shout out
how do you link up with them and get in the studio settings and all that?
Man, it's so crazy because it was just the environment. Like, just the community that I grew up in South Park.
Yeah.
In South Park. She can rap, or she can rap. My other homeboy here that I can rap or something. Hey, get Baby Shay, get Shay over here, get Shay over here, or whatever. Then we gonna call you Baby Shay. That was RQ all day, calling me Baby Shay. He was making the beats at the studio, and his studio was around the corner from my house, so it wasn't that far. So my mama would drop me off around the corner. You know what I'm saying? But like she used to tell him, y'all know, nah, y'all don't give my baby none of that. That was weed. You know, back in the game, you know, she was saying, don't get my baby none of that. Woo, woo, woo. Y'all do your thing. She knew I didn't
curse
smoke.
You want to curse?
I didn't smoke and drink. No, I don't.
Okay,
because I like to I have a
gotcha.
fan base that needs to hear this, and I don't want to be having to cut nothing and just hear, straight up. So that's not to jump subjects, but that's another thing that I stopped doing, because I was very hard in that rap that today I don't rap with any profanity. So my music and albums are recorded clean. The past few albums are clean, and you don't even realize it, because it's still hard, but it's clean.
That's what's up.
Yeah, try that, because you know it's hard for boys nowadays to be trying to rap without saying one curse
use
word.
Your words.
Try it.
Yeah, you gotta
say
use
something.
Your words. Yeah.
Say something. It's hard to say something without no curse word, and you rapping, but you call yourself an artist, huh?
Yeah.
But you're an artist though.
Yeah.
You're an artist though. A rap artist. That means we got to put words together to create the song. See, it's a difference between an artist and not an artist. Okay.
Who was teaching you how to, like, your song structure and like how to put your bars and all that together?
You know, anything that we first start learning, you start learning yourself. You just picking up, and you just actually I would personally rap it to the radio when we used to record the Brad songs or somebody's songs off the radio, or Master P or some Mia X, shout out to her too. Like, I would take that tape, play it, and totally rap my rap over them rapping while they're rapping, and it just kind of matches that time. This is before I knew anything about any
same
bars.
flow, just changing the words and all that.
No. What I mean is about time, and you were talking to me about bars.
Gotcha.
So I would
you
start
just wrote
when they
within
start
the time
rapping.
They rap. I got you.
And that's how I came in on bars before I knew anything about bars. But that's how my timing was kind of going. Then I actually got through my journey. It's a lot of people that I probably can't think of during the time of this interview. But the first person that hits my mind for some reason is this Jamaican friend of mine. I was very young, but this was a older Jamaican guy that was musically inclined and had a studio, and he just had hope in me. And I remember his name is Mango. He would call me every year and just tell me happy birthday. He would find me some kind of way. It wasn't that stuff that's going on today. It ain't like he looked at me and no kind of, it wasn't no funny business. This was genuinely back then in that time, people that really loved the music and loved to see someone that had a talent, and I can offer you something to help build your skill. This guy offered that. I forgot. Mango stayed like near one of my family members, and we would go to his studio, and he would let me get on the microphone and hear myself as I'm doing stuff, and he's playing music, just music, and it was a lot of island music, to be honest. You know what I mean? But then he was like, "You really good. You could be famous. Or you are awesome." You know, like that was somebody that motivated me. I don't know where he is today. I haven't talked to Mango in many of years, but I remember this guy growing up, that this was somebody that offered something to me and just would let me freely find out who I am as an artist, to be on a microphone and hear myself and do certain stuff. So he kind of, I don't want to say he didn't song structure me, but he allowed me to find myself by utilizing his music, being around it. He had this apartment that was like filled with a whole bunch of records, and it was a real musical environment for me. So I grew up with that. So then when I get away from him, I ended up down the line, maybe in 1997, I want to say, I run into this Indian guy, straight Indian, no black, no nothing. He teaches cliche artist structure. He basically artist developed me.
How do you meet this guy?
How did I meet Rock? Oh, my homegirl Kim had reminded me recently this year how I met Rock, because I kept thinking, how did I had it wrong. I'm finna get to that. Yes.
Oh man, okay.
So
yeah.
Rakesh Jacobs, before anybody knew who Rakesh Jacobs was, and I met my homegirl Kim reminded me this year that I met Rock through her friend. She introduced me to a friend to do a feature or a song with him named JV. And then JV was working with Rakesh. And we go to do a song with JV. And then Rakesh meets me. And then, oh, she's dope. And then we just start working together. You know, and that's Rakesh also had Cliche, Zero, Guerilla Maab, Trey,
right.
Everybody as far as artist development. He artist developed all of us.
No
from
shit.
Zero, Cliche,
Okay, tell me,
Dougie D.
Okay,
Yeah.
You go to Rakesh. Where's Rakesh? Rakesh just a guy that has like studio equipment and he just make beats and stuff like this.
Okay, I want to take you back. Yeah. So when I meet him, he's in a house that is set up by I want to say, do you remember Fisher Boy?
Yeah, I know you're talking about, yeah.
Fish, Big Fish. Shout out to Big Fish. I think at that time he was working with Fish as a record company, and he was a producer for him. So we would go there in that house while he was producing music for Fisher Boy, and then working with outside artists like myself coming in that was featuring on some of Fish artist songs. You know, like we were just all artists that was coming together as far as I remember. And from there, as Rock Journey moved a little bit further, we traveled with him. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm with an actual producer that's actually showing me how to record songs and music. The first songs I ever recorded is the first songs on this album. The first songs I ever recorded is my first album. That's one of the best albums I ever recorded to date. I say that this album, Classified Lady, is well put together from top to bottom, like a major label album. It has the skits, the interludes in between, the music, the mixing and mastering is phenomenal. It had story plays and songs, the way we created the songs, and because I was guided through the structure of Rakesh of teaching me how to take what I had and confine it to fit with the track perfectly, how to do the ad-libs, how to make them be on time, how to complement them. And because I sat so many nights, days, and years, weeks, and years with Rakesh in front of that computer, that's how I learned how to mix. Not that he literally hands-on taught me. I've watched him for hours. You know, we used to be in the studio. If you're a music artist, you know, from back in the game, we used to be in the studio from as soon as we probably ain't even went to sleep, but from morning to all the way at night, maybe working on that same song to get the perfect sound, or somebody new came through the door. Hey, you want to put a verse on here? That was the love of that music in that studio time that we don't have today. You know what I mean? So I love the moment. So Rakesh taught me song structuring. He artist developed me and showed me how to record. And actually, your song is not you can go and rap a song and just rap your song, but when you create and build around it, it's what makes it a full, complete recording. You know what I mean? It's how you do it. It ain't going there, I'm going to rap it 3 times and that's 3 libs over the whole song. No, that takes a feel away. You got to know how to add a feel. So that's what make your cliche a lot different from a lot of these rappers today, male or female.
Yeah,
because I have a structure how I record. And there's some recordings I don't even use ad-libs, but if you're going to use them, there's a structure how you're supposed to use them because it's how the engineer is going to mix them also. So I record how I know I'm going to mix it or how I want it mixed already.
So what year is this? Like 98?
No, I dropped this album in 98. So that still had to be, I want to say about 97.
You came out before the Guerilla Maab
Oh,
album.
yes. Cliche is way before Guerilla Maab.
Okay, so when you get to Rakesh, is Guerilla Maab already over there?
No.
So
Guerilla Maab was built.
Ro was there through Fisher Boy.
Yes. So Zero was there.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was there actually recording what I believe his first album.
Look what you did to me. Yeah.
So we both kind of dropped our first album around the same time.
Oh shit. Okay. So but at the same time though, like you were all over that first Guerilla. I mean, both Guerilla Maab albums, but the first one in particular, the Rise.
Yeah,
album.
because by Zero already being connected with Rakesh and me being the other artist that now I'm a part of him, and we all gelled and Rock is working with Zero. He's gonna say, "Hey, Cliche, come here." So Rock is structuring these songs as well. Here, drop a verse on here. And then when one of my other friends come through and she sings it and he be like, "Hey, here, put a hook on this." So Rakesh is structuring this stuff. We're just being artists at the time and like, "Hey, cool, let me write my verse. Write it down in 5 minutes and go do it."
Y'all don't have any like, y'all ain't like being cool, like y'all ain't hanging out, like this ain't like the crew and no shit like that. Y'all just
we became a crew because of Rakesh.
Yeah.
Rakesh created the idea. I don't know if he the one gave Zero the idea to do the group, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because he the one to say, "Hey, y'all need a group. Here, I got some homeboys, and then maybe I don't remember that conversation because things were just happening and we were already there. And then eventually you got Dougie D. Zero went and got traded, brought him along. This is a little bit farther along down the line, from when we actually had dropped our first album. But he said put the group together. He brought in some of his friends. These are Zero friends. I don't know them at the time, but now they're at the studio. They're a part of the studio. We all just one big happy family in the studio, just constantly working. Rakesh is the one to show us how it go. And we don't know where our verse gonna end up at. First, second, third, fourth, it don't matter. Cause when we just coming to rap right here. Okay. And it came together because it was natural. Everything was just full of that young energy and just wanted to just do. You did your part to me. Oh, man, I feel that, Dougie. Come on. All right, I'm next. Yeah, with the little cliche. Got to, you know what I mean? Oh, all right, man. Hold up. Something with the Dougie did Zero. Seen a hook for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was real because we were in the studio, in that vibe and that energy, and you can feel that. Versus today's music, it's done. We might be at home by ourselves, and you can feel that too. Because you're at home by yourself. Yeah. It's a difference when that essence is in that energy, is in that one place, and it's no, subliminal competitions and none of this. Is just like a family type environment. Like Ryan, I love that energy in that part of the studio. I wish for that today. Yeah. I wish for that today because it don't exist.
Talk about what's some of the things that stand out from when y'all were doing the Guerilla Maab album around that time. Like, is there anything, whether it's a studio session, whether it's a show, whether it's just a moment, like
what stands out for me
around that moment in time?
For the moment in time of doing the first Guerilla Maab album,
first one,
Rise. What stands out to me is just being in the studio and Rakesh really just saying, "Hey, drop a verse on this." Oh, that boy hard, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's dope right there. Not even thinking and not knowing that it was gonna do what it did in the community. You know what I mean? Through the streets. And like when we knew it was jamming to us, but of course when you record something for yourself, it's jamming to you.
Of course we like our shit. Yeah,
it's jamming to you. But then what stands out to me is after we had done this, remembering just going to the store, or pulling up at the store or something, or hearing somebody really roll down the street everywhere, every day, jamming our music. I hear my voice. I hear my rap. No problem. No more problem, whatever. I'm talking about.
Too many problems.
Too many problems. No more problems. I got too many songs. I got too many problems too. I got too many songs for real. I don't even remember. But hearing that riding down the street or creeping with the soda, you know what I'm saying, with me and Zero, and I'm like, but boys is jamming this, rolling down the freeway, and we at the store. And I might be by myself, but I'm hearing that and just feeling like,
It's happening.
damn, boys really jamming this.
Yeah.
Like everybody got it. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
But see, before the Guerilla Maab, you gotta remember Cliche was out before Guerilla Maab existed.
And then, see, that's what I was gonna say was that I was telling you, I remember like I used to go to Hakeem's barbershop right there in the Clark, in front of Briarwick, in front of my neighborhood on Anderson Road, and that the Cliche promotion was so tough. Like I just remember, I mean, everywhere in the streets. I remember. I just distinctly remember going to the barbershop and they having the Cliche poster in there.
What I had on that little bodysuit thing to the side. You remember that? Everybody remember that poster. We put a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of thought, a lot of organization that actually came from Rakesh again. Rakesh I just wanted to be the rapper starting off in music like anybody else. I just want to be rapping and do my shows, and I'm crunk and I'm getting y'all crunk and it's going down. I thought about all of that before the money. You know what I mean? But Rock always put me in position. He knew the business side of the stuff, and that he was a little bit older than me. He's like, you're going to be the president of this company. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a head president. I'm like, okay, cool. Because this is something that me and him was building as me as an artist. And me on the outside, I knew a lot of people. And by my energy, and I'm everywhere, and everybody knowing who I am, I'm on talent shows, I'm wrecking them, I'm having fun, I'm music. So everybody hearing about the buzz of this girl is out here in South Park, and like I'm the only girl. You know what I mean? At this time, boys are like, man, hey, what's up? I want to put some money up behind you. So now you got some D-boys that's hollering at me. They everywhere. I know everybody. I'm in the hood. I'm out here. So you want to put some money up? Oh, that's what's up. Well, let me holler at my people. I let you talk to Rock. Then Rock set up the situation where, you know, it's actually a business now. You know, I'm still just wanting to be the artist, but he like, no, I'm going to set you up as being the president of Afterlife. We're going to call it, what we going to call it? We come up with the name Afterlife Records. Afterlife Records. It says on the back, executive producers Leslie Shears and Jewel Carmack, but they were basically the investors. Them two were the investors, because to be honest, the executive producers is me and Rakesh. But on the label, I would sign paperwork as the president, and then we added all of us to, you know, just to be fair, that we all was in the business thinking we doing some business. I didn't really know nothing about it back then. Rock did that paperwork, and it went well. You know, like, putting this album together, like I said, was very well thought out. It was very well promoted, and actually, we had marketing management, and we were paying like big money. Like back then, spending over $100,000 was a lot on a project, and I can say this first project got over $100,000 spent on it independently. That was a lot back then in 1998.
That's
like
a lot right now.
You know, it's a lot. Who got $100,000? Right. If you got $100,000 to just promote that one album you have right now,
right,
bruh,
right.
You feel me? To that one, not all.
And it might do something, it might not. It's just
come on,
100,000 just to see.
So what that 100,000 did is make everybody recognize this album, know who Cliche is. This music, this album right here, I've seen online being sold for $1,500 from somebody trying to sell it because it's rare. It's rare. I have CDR copies of it, but you know, my fans overseas want the replicated original copies because it actually was a fold out of this. This just one. This was just one little thing that I made because I had to go back and press up some of these because the demand is still there for my first album. Just as well as anything else I put out. They want the first album. I just went and mailed one of these off today. I need a classified lady. You know what I mean? If you got an original copy, it's worth something. It's valuable to that fan base because what was put into it. It was a lot of energy, a lot of thought, a lot of me and the value of me as an artist in there, a lot of rock engineering. It was a lot of time and energy. It's a great album, and the reason why I say it's great because it was well put together from top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean, and at the same time, talk about, because at this time too in Houston, I mean, it's not really, I can't really think about any women that were out around that time really rapping. I mean, you had on the Screw side, Angelique was doing the Screw type thing and all that. and a couple others here and there. But I mean, as far as women dropping albums, who else was out around that time with you?
Nobody. And I say nobody because there is nobody that I connected or could connect with as a female to ride with me on this wave where all these dudes at. It wasn't nobody. And I'm not saying it competitively, but there was no females doing it independently like Cliche. And the difference between me and these other rappers that came around or came a little bit after me in this, the difference is I owned all my stuff. I put in all the work to put mine out. It wasn't just somebody putting me out. So I worked the whole field ground of every angle of it, even when I didn't even understand or even choose to be put in that position. But God already knew. So God put me in a position where I own myself because he knew that that's where the value was at, to own your own rights, to own your own music. Yeah. Well, I'm just wanting to rap and I'm not knowing the other stuff, but God was setting me up and put me in position back then before I even knew it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it. Now I know it. I own everything, including my first album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I own it.
Yeah.
That's mine. So when I had to go back and go and find out, like, okay, you need to take this off. Who is this? Who are you gonna call? If you want to call Leslie Shears and Jewel Carmack, because those are the names that we put here on the back of here, that's fine. But you can talk to them, and they're gonna talk to me too. It's good. We did good business. I can say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for Leslie Shears and Jewel Carmack for what they did. They supplied every need that I needed as a music artist with my first album, just as if I was on a major album. I really thank them. I haven't talked to them in years right now. Last I heard, he was working with one of the guys, the executive producers. Leslie Shears was working with the label that Young Thug was on. That was his nephew label or something like that. But I haven't really talked to him in a while. But if y'all watching this and y'all see this, you know I love y'all and I thank y'all for everything y'all done. And whatever this still do, you still get your due. You know what I mean? I still owe y'all on that. I still, you know what I mean? I feel like when Cliche get her real major due in this, I never forget the people that I started with, even if I don't fool with them today. Yeah. You know what I mean? Credit, you got to give credit where it's due. Yeah. Because I couldn't have did it like this without y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, like I said, I mean, if you ain't know nothing else, I know for a fact, you saw that poster with the bodysuit on there and the Cliche. For a fact, if you ain't know nothing else and you was out around that time, man, you saw that poster for sure. You know
Everybody was like, man, I still got your poster. And I got to give a big shout out to Les on this, because Les is the one that said on this poster, he said, I went and got you it was like a thick cardboard. So these were long lasting. We spent money on my stuff. My vinyl was pink marble. And a lot of my fans out there in Japan, what's up, y'all? I know that they the ones got all of that pink vinyl out there. And that was selling on the market recently. Bub ain't want to sell it to you at the screw shop, but he had one that DJ Screw originally had. And he didn't want to sell it he didn't want to give it. Tricky was trying to buy it, and I didn't even know it at this time. This recently, like a couple of years ago, he didn't want to sell it to him because he got offers for probably, I'm pretty sure, from overseas that probably really wanted that, and they'll spend some stacks on it. I know they did, because Tricky ain't got it. You see what I'm saying? That's how value it is. So I appreciate my fans that, like what I was saying about the marketing, they actually started my marketing not here in Houston. They actually started it in the Midwest. So they were trying to be an independent label on a major scale, not just saying just like Cash Money, because I don't even think Cash Money then was hitting like that at the time, but just saying like Cash Money then we were trying to merge out beyond just Houston and go. We were Houston, Louisiana, but I wasn't even up in the Midwest in Chicago, but my music and my posters and everything was there in those areas in the Midwest, and people know me from that. Like you say, them part of posters, they don't forget. That's real.
Yeah. So, man, you brought up Bub. Talk a little bit about like, how did you meet DJ Screw?
Yeah, DJ Screw. I don't really know Bub like that, but Screw. How did I meet Screw? I don't even remember how I first came in acquaintance with him, but because I was in the industry and around everybody already, it's just like me meeting you today. Because if I'm a music girl, you doing this, hey, let me get you over here with you. I'm around all these people. Oh, what's up? Whoa, you such and such. And then all of a sudden, the people I was around that was down with Afterlife Records, this is how I got on a Screw tape, but I've been knowing Screw by this time. they were like, Clee, I need you to get on a screw tape. I'm finna have Screw do for me. It's gonna be called Southside Still Holdin.
Wait, who said that?
My homeboy Snoop and Pat.
Oh.
Y'all know
Fat Pat?
Not Fat Pat. Fat Pat was gone by this time.
No, I'm saying, but that was his people though, right?
I
Or
got
his
a
friend
story.
or his cousin
Yeah,
or something?
it was. I got a story about Fat Pat too. But yes, Pat. This the other PAT. He had the red slab too, but this the other PAT and Snoop. Those my boys, man. Shout out to y'all. What's up? He like, Clee, I need you on. We going to Screw Highs tonight. You know what I'm saying?
They tell you day of.
Huh?
They tell you the day of.
Yeah,
This week.
something like that. That's how I go though. You know, and I'm young. You feel me? I'm young. I'm like, man, I want to say when I did Southside Still Holdin', because see, this album just dropped. When this album dropped, I was 18. Okay? So I was every bit of probably still 18. You know what I mean? So I just remember him saying, we going, but I had a car and all that. I was moving. I was doing my thing. You feel me? So I'm like, we going to schoolhouse and it's going down. All right, I need you on this song. I said, okay, cool. We go to schoolhouse. Mind you, I already been doing school though at this time though, but doing that Southside Still Holdin', I go
This
to
your first
Schoolhouse.
time going to Screw House though?
No, probably not. But the first time I'm getting on a screw tape, because see, the thing was this. Cliche move like this. I'm gone. And you know, Screw move like this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He real screwed up. For real.
Yeah.
So I didn't stick around long enough. I could have been on a lot more screw tapes. But see, I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't do none of that. I was too crunk. I got too much to do. Boys thought I was on something anyway. But I had stuff to do. So I be gone by the time they got to recording. You feel me? But this time, you got me. He said, I need you at Screw House. Man, you know what? I want to say what happened was, I want to say Screw came and picked me up that day. Because I couldn't leave for some reason. I was stuck there. I was asleep. In the living room with all the crates, on top of the studio phone, waiting on them to record. It started like 7 o'clock in the evening this day. And we ain't finished until about 7 o'clock the next evening. And I did a ride home. I done seen about 800 niggas come through here, flipping the cane and drop by 800 balls on Southside Still Holdin'. Everybody that came in and they like, Clee, we ready for your part.
Wait. So it didn't go in the order. Y'all recorded it like a song, like in the studio. Y'all didn't do that like hook, then somebody freestyled in.
No. Yeah, it went step by step, but it went all night, all day. It took a long time, for real. I went to sleep. I done woke up. I done wrote my little part, sitting over there. You know, some of them come through and freestyle, but I was sitting over there chilling. We ain't got nothing else to do, so I just start writing. I'm writing. Anjali was there. D. Drew. I want to say D. Drew was in there. I don't know who else was in there. It was so many people that stopped by, came and went, and I had to been stuck. For me, I think that's the day that he picked me up, but I ain't had no way to leave at that time. So I'm here. We doing a song. Okay, Pat and them came already. So it's just one big chill night. I love Screw. Screw had number love. That's why everybody, when they came over to Screw House, that they felt like they was at home. So you would be there probably all week because you felt like you was at home. That's how real he was. Screw fed everybody. Anything, whatever. When one, it's time to go get something to eat, everybody, I swear, it was like a slab line going just to get something to eat from Hart's Chicken. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of his favorite spots to eat, just that I know of personally. So anyway, we get in there. They like, we ready for your part. I'm like, man, it's the next morning. I went to sleep. I was so sleepy because I can't stay up like y'all. You know, I didn't smoke. I didn't do nothing. I was done. So I'm the only sober one basically in here. I'm sleeping. Even they were sleeping too, but they just be sleeping standing up and doing other stuff. They was sleeping too. But they like, Clee, we ready for your part? I'm like, yeah. I wake up, I'm like, man, you ain't even got to screw my voice. I'm already tired. Started out as a crawler, now I'm a big time baller. Southside still holding, and it ain't no lie. I'm used to recording. I started recording with Rock. That's digital wasn't around for everybody's studio, so I started off digitally. So I'm thinking, let me do an ad lib. Let me do my ad lib with it. But he said okay. Not that I couldn't, even though he had a regular stereo system that was right there with a tape recorder that he was rewinding and okay, do the next part. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. Next part. Started out as a crawler. You ain't gotta screw me, man. I'm already screwed up. All right. And the big time ball of Southside still holding, and it ain't no lie. Cause I just woke up, voice already deep and sluggish and all this. So it was just the perfect feel, to be honest. All right, then I came in ready for your verse. Okay, now I gotta wake up and be an artist. Now I rap my little verse, kicking this 4'10", little mama flipping the shit, ripping the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Call me that classic. You know what I'm saying? That's her. I'm in there. Finally got through. I think somebody came through and I caught a ride and was able to get on back to the high. I gotta go home and take a bath, man. I gotta go put on some clothes. I'm a girl. I'm finna go home. No, but that's a memory, man, that, man, just like I cherish because
it's a moment.
That was the first and last time that I actually recorded with Screw. Not that I've been around him, but to have that moment that I can take with me and remember just for the rest of my life. Just like if I didn't do that moment, I wouldn't have even been a part of this legacy actually on that Screw tape. Being there, yes. I've been around all the festivities and all the love with us, you know what I mean? Together as a clique. But to have that one moment, I had to be there, and it was the invite from my homeboy Snoop and Pat, P-A-T.
Man.
It was the invite from
So does that, because you only did that one appearance, does that make you like Screwed Up Click, or do they do
that was the only one freestyle, but I'm on other Screw tapes. I'm on 3 years later, because Screw had, when I dropped this album, had took two of my songs, that can't nobody show more love and the Southside do you can deny it. But see, that it's a story behind that one too. But he did the Can't Nobody, and you know what? I wanted to say it was Too Much Pressure, but I think Bone had did Too Much Pressure. I can't remember. But I know 3 years later.
Well, yeah,
sure,
I'm talking about when I say
on
appearance, I mean like you actually like physically being there on the tape. Does that make you like, as you appeared on the tape? I mean, I don't know how the Screwed Up induction work. Like, is it you freestyle, you become Screwed Up?
But it wasn't never. It wasn't really like talked about. It was what it was.
It's understood.
You know who your partners is. You know who you roll with. When the clique come through, everybody calling the clique. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The phone call, you in. Yeah.
That's the clique. S.U.C. to the day that I die. That's us. Yeah. Soldiers United for Kansas.
I'm tripping that's your first time going over there.
No, not the first time I'm going over there. The first time
I'm appearing on there. Yeah, and that's the hook. That shit's so classic. I got a partner of mine.
It's so classic.
I got a partner of mine. I'll call him right now and be like, "Hey, bro, started off as and he gonna finish the shit." And we gonna have a conversation like 10 minutes about just how cold that was to say started off as a crawler, now I'm a big time baller.
Cause Troy just dropped the wanna be a baller stuff.
But to flip it like that.
I'm thinking, cause he using the wanna be a baller beat. And I'm like, started out as a crawler. Now I'm a big time baller. Stop 19 years old. And it ain't no lie. See, it's S.U.C. to the day that I die. Switch the lanes and for my lost G's, we still gon' cry. Cause Fat Pad just passed. They all we did. Like I said, we go to Hearts in a slab line. Huh?
Yeah. Wait. Okay, tell this story. Go ahead. Y'all go to Hearts in the slab line.
I'm just saying, every time we roll, it's the click when we going somewhere, so it looks like a whole slab line because everybody got candy slab cars doing something. We just going to the store. Yeah. We was building something that I don't think that none of us at that time really realized what was happening at the time. And, it normally happens like that. But when you look back at the culture of what's been built off of Screw, and we know where this stuff started from, we was just doing us. If we had that love today, Houston music scene, we would be unstoppable if it was really Screw love. Screw had love. Screw love, he welcomed everybody, bro. Never heard that man say one thing negative about anybody. Even if he did, I ain't saying he didn't in his life. I ain't never heard it. That wasn't his aura. That wasn't his steed. It was love, baby, and we finna do this. I want to see you on. That was his mentality. I want to see you on. That's why he took songs from, he represented for Houston all the way, but he made us respect the niggas from the Qs and the Too Shorts. You know what I'm saying? From the West Coast and other niggas from the East Coast. Because when he put them in there, that made us accept them. Because of Screw. That was the love Screw had. And he put jamming music on and stuff. He ain't just put anything on there. But then I'm going to let all my friends come through here. This is a vibe that we created. And you ain't even got to be a rapper and you can be on the Screw tape. Because it wasn't about rapping skills being on the Screw tape. It was about Screw love. It was about the love we have for each other, seriously, that we need to have today. Man.
Do you think that's changed within the clique over the years now?
Of course. Of course it changed. You can look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know everybody's personal situation, but I know what I see. And I know what I don't see. I know what it is, and I know what it ain't. That ain't Screw love. I know that much. My bro, Mac Grace, came home. That's all he preaching through his songs. RP, long live Mac Grace, y'all, for real. He like Clee. My personal encounter with Mac Grace, when he come home, I don't know why boys ain't doing what they supposed to do. They gotta have you on the song, man. Me and you ain't did our song, cause I locked up. We finna do it now. You know what I'm saying? This how it's supposed to go, man. The clique, his expression was the clique falling off. I'm trying to hold it together. He said it in one of his songs. Trying to hold the clique together, trying not to say, man, fuck it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because the real ones in the clique seen what was happening when it started turning to be too industry. You know what I mean? People start getting a little fame, a little notoriety. Everybody want to outshine the next person, or you know what I mean? And it starts being kind of more of a competition in certain areas for everybody. But everybody young. I can't fault everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because when you young, you excited about new stuff that's happening. The attention, the money, the shows, the girls, the dudes, the chains, the jewelry, all of that. You know what I'm saying? They're excited, so they really don't know how to handle it. But see, Screw was that mediator for a lot of the artists. So once the mediator wasn't here anymore, it was like everybody kind of got lost within the clique, as you know what I'm saying, as that group, as the clique. And then everybody had to go and redefine themselves, how I'ma move, you know what I mean, by myself. And they had to figure their way out. Instead of keeping it together, it got separated. You see what I'm saying? That's what I see. You feel me? That's what cliche see. But you know, hey, everybody has their story with it. You know what I mean? But
did you have any relationships with any other women within the S.U.C. like the Angeles, and I don't know who are the other women?
I don't know
who were in the S.U.C.
The only two females that I remember being there is Anjali and Cheryl. I remember them two chicks, but Anjali, the main one that was more active with Screw, because she was Screw's friend. She was there on a regular basis. You always gonna see Anjali in the mix. It wasn't about rapping. That's what I'm saying. It was really a clique. It wasn't just rapping. Rapping was what we did when we wanted to have fun, but outside of the rapping, it was still the clique, and it's going down at Screw Highs. This is what we do. Anjali was there more than me. Anjali was there before me. She was their partner. She's in that circle, but I don't think Anjali took on pursuing a music career like I was an artist pursuing a career in it. So she was at Schoolhouse. She's a girl. She's around. She's rapping. She's doing everybody sort of know her name. She's going to be at the shows. She's going to show up. She's going to rep for the clique. And she still would today. She going to rep for who she is. But see, this is not Anjali's lane. I don't think she wants to pursue a music career. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, me and her have talked recently, like throughout the years, you know, of that, you know. I ain't telling her business what she's doing, but she's doing big things now in her life, and I'm proud of her. Yeah. You know what I mean? For real.
For sure. So, man, okay, Screw passes away, but you still keep it moving and still a part of classic moments, man, like the Zero vs. the World album. You know what I mean? the second Guerilla Maab album.
Straight Profit. Okay.
Straight Profit.
Now, because what happened is, as me and Zero is doing a lot of songs and music together, us being connected, we're family there in this studio. So when he connects with another record company, because all these guys see that he's a gold mine, he's very talented. Like, hey, we put some money up behind him, put an album on you, and Zero. Right now, just getting a little bread here, he gonna go wherever getting his bread from. So me being his partner, not his girl at the time, we cool. Okay, when he go over here, he speaks and represents Cliche. Come jump on this song. And of course, when I go over here and jump on this song, niggas might go ahead and pay you for a verse, get on my album, they doing over here. Okay, cool. I come through the studio, I'm rapping on one of those songs that he finna put out with them over here, and then of course, I didn't do anything with Straight Profit, but wherever he went, because we constantly did music together, and when he wanted to do a song, it involved me. Whatever label I went to, oh, what you doing? Who you with? Cliche, me and Zero rolling together as a clique. Kind of like where he went, I was going. I was still there because he was still involving me on his projects and his albums. So the only label that I did stop at was Presidential Records. So when he went over to Presidential Records, then Skinny was about handling the business, and then that's how I ended up dropping the album. Also a joint venture with Presidential Records too. But all of that was in connection from doing music through with Zero and then working on my own deal for my own album with them. That's the Off the Chain project that's out.
Yeah. What about talk about with KMJ, man, and Eugene Brooks and
it comes through with Zero.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like when he moved, because we were already like our clique within our, us doing songs together. And if I make a song and put a girl on it, I'm gonna hit up Cliche. Like, or if I'm doing a song, I'm gonna be Zero. Come on, we finna do this over here. So he goes over here with Eugene now. So now it's involving money with all these different situations because Zero gets to drop these albums. These people now we're growing up. So now money is actually have to be a part of the equation. When we were young, money wasn't nothing that we really needed because myself, I can't speak for him, but I'm staying with my mom. I ain't got no bills. I ain't got none of that. But as you grow up, you start with bills. Now we got car notes. Now we got stuff. So if I'm doing something, so now we see this stuff making us money and we can make money. This is our career. Now I'm looking at it as a business. So cool. Come over here. We need to go drop this song over here in Rosenberg on me, Eugene. Whatever. Woo. Eugene had a studio in Rosenberg at the time. We was driving out to Rosenberg recording and doing the songs. Then it led from Eugene meet me and hearing the music that I'm doing with Zero. I'm like, man, girl, you like everybody that met me, they seen the God-given talent that was in me and like, man, you need to be out. Ain't no females doing this. And woo, I want to put an album out on you. And Eugene always felt like, Clee, I owe you that. You know what I mean? I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I want to do this for you. That's what he wanted to do. But then other things happened in our lives that didn't happen. And he always felt like, oh, mama, like I gotta put an album out on you. So we started just working out in that direction first. But then life had turned all of us all kind of different ways. So that actually never happened. But a friendship was still built and a business relationship was still built between me and Eugene, which he is my son's godfather. He came to the Christian and did everything. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful for that. He stood in a place where no daddy was there. You know what I mean? So thankful. Thank you, G-Daddy. And so like I said, a lot of the relationships back then were based off of the relationship. It wasn't just about just the rap or the money or the deals or none of that. But me knowing you, but what's your expertise? If you this record company and I'm an artist and you got some business being handled and you handling it, why not do business with my brother?
Right.
Why not do business with you? Right. Why not make money together? Why not, so it was different back then. I wish it was that easy to say that today. You know what I'm saying? With people, Everybody out for self. Now the record company is the artist, and he's the producer, and he's all of everything. You don't need no team then. You know what I mean? You are your team, and that's how everybody is kind of going into this selfish bubble, and you don't have what we had back then that I love. I wish we can have back today, to have that real studio and real artists and excitement of putting the projects together and everything working accordingly. Everybody in their positions, you know?
Yeah. So how do you meet Tricky C? How you meet DJ Tricky C?
DJ Tricky C. I actually, Tricky know that one probably before me. I'm the person that don't remember nothing. But how did we meet though from the beginning? Because before we were together, I've been knowing him years prior. Business, working in the community. But you tell them how, because I forgot.
In Shannon's. Remember, you came through.
But you say you didn't remember that. That's what I remember.
That's what you remember. But no, but you remember, I said, I remember you talking about it. And then it came to my mind, like, yeah, because remember you had to go around the bar to get in the DJ booth. So that's the first time I actually met you.
So, me going into Shannon's and Harm Clark, being an artist, promoting my music, doing what I do as an artist. I'm going to meet the DJ. Hey, how you doing? Because I think somebody had brought me to Shannon's and was like, hey, the DJ here is Tricky C. He'll play your music, take your music to him or whatever. And hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm Cliche. This is my new single. Woo, check me out. That's all I do. Shake the hands. I greet as an artist. You know, it was professional back then, how we used to do this stuff. Like today, it don't have no boundaries. But that is the moment that I remember ever hearing a Tricky C name or ever seeing him. And then, what happened? What you remember?
So I just remembered that I always had a crush on you, but I kept it professional. I always, you know, as a DJ, as the artist, I just kept it professional. And then I would see her at shows. You know, I'm DJing shows, DJing a show in the Screw Shop parking lot or just anywhere. And then I happen to be the DJ doing the sound, and there she is. There's the artist. There she is. You know what I'm saying? And I always had mutual respect for her. And then about 3 years ago, actually it was 3 years ago, you know, I always do the Madison reunions. I'm the DJ for Harm Clark, the Madison reunions. I invited her out. To just, you know, come on, hang out with us and stuff.
Yeah,
like
not
that.
out,
right.
but
Just
out, because I
come
got
out.
homeboys.
Yeah,
You be like, hey,
yeah.
Clee, why don't you come through? And you, oh, okay, I see what I can do. He want me to come through on this day. Okay, that's networking.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So, you know, she came through, brought a little Zeta with her, little baby and stuff. Came on stage with her. She said a little something on the stage. We were just having a good time. And then I just turned around and said, hey, you know, I'm going to be out of a situation soon. You know, I'm gonna
Wait a minute.
He said, hey,
Yeah,
I'm getting into, mind you, it's October.
Right.
So our anniversary just passed October the 22nd.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to begin a divorce in January.
Yeah.
I'd love to take you out then.
Right. Yeah.
In January. So he scheduled a date with me from October to
We ain't
January.
got to play. He say, let me get this situation
But
out the way.
I
You know what
respected
mean?
that though, but that was so weird to me.
Yeah.
And I say, look, what I tell you.
You said, I don't really date my friends. But you know what? Why not?
I didn't jump that fast and say, why not? I had to think about that for a day or so. I said, I don't really date my friends because I got a lot of dudes just homeboys. That's all my friends are dudes. Just been in the rap industry. I'm around nothing but dudes all day long. I have more dude friends than females. I said, I don't date my friends because once I date them, then we're never going to be friends again. That's because I was back then. Oh, she was super lonely. Oh, thank God for change. Anybody know the old clique? You know, just listen to the old music. But I'm saying, yeah, so then I was like, you know what? Maybe that is my problem. Maybe you know what, ladies? Listen, this is advice right here. Date your friend. Listen. I wouldn't do it for the longest, but then I realized, I say, well, why not? If he's already my friend, this is someone that already respects me and already likes me and truthfully, honestly likes me and ain't just trying to get nothing. This already my friend. We've been working together because you didn't tell him about in between all of them years though. We've been MCing. I've been MCing, DJing. He'll pay me to come MC this and that. Well, I think he was just trying to give me. I didn't know he liked me. To be honest, I never knew he liked me. His ex-wife didn't approach me and ever thinking that girl. Do you think I talked to him? I'm a grinder right now. You better talk to your people. I'm here to get my money. I'm finna go. I ain't playing. That was my conversation. That was my vibe. That's my energy because I'm used to being around nothing but dudes and females being jealous. I'm used to that. You ain't got to be jealous of that. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be cooler with your husband than you. But you cool to be around. The difference is because I don't do what you do. I do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to be scared of Clee because I'm around, but a lot of that went on. I'm used to it. So let me just shut you down right here, homegirl. I don't want your man. You feel me? No. You think I talked to you. And I was so hood, and I felt like he was so square. Girl, you think I talked to you? And it's so funny when I ended up talking to her. And boy, I knew she was like, I knew it. But nope, never, ever. And he never disrespected me, never even came to me. When I say disrespected, because he was married, he never came to me while he was married and ever showed me any signs like he liked me. But within himself, because we've been together for 3 years now, he can tell me those secrets. And now y'all know. And now she know.
That's what's up. So, I mean, y'all also been collaborating doing projects, you know what I mean, with the He's DJ
Definitely.
and the rapper, all that. So,
See,
talk
man,
about
you be, man, see.
I'm up on it.
I like interviewers like yourself. If it, what's your position called? I'm saying
I'm a
interviewers.
journalist. Yeah.
Journalists.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
I mean,
journalists
we just kind of, but I'm a DJ and producer first, but I'm also a journalist. But yeah,
in this environment.
In
right
this
here.
environment, I'm
You're
a journalist.
journalist.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are a journalist, and I say that because you did your research and you know it. It's nothing like talking to someone that want to interview you and don't know who you are, what you do. Yeah, you can ask me, but you need to know something about me before you sit me down here. You don't even know what questions to ask me if you ain't done your job. You ain't done your job. Don't waste my time to come here to do my job because it ain't going to jail right. Now I'm doing your job and mine because I got to let everybody know why he ain't even asking me no questions, or I might miss something. But you're like, hey, he's the DJ. You're right. He's the DJ. I'm the rapper. Of course, he's a DJ, and I'm a rapper. But he came up with that title based off of the
Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Yes, sir.
Right,
He's
right.
done his work. Exactly. And I thought it was a perfect concept. And I'm like, let's rock. And we put our skills together. I was an engineer on this project as well. So I mixed and mastered and engineered the entire project, putting it together. It wasn't just, oh, let me record a song, and he took it and just mixed it all in. No, we actually you can actually put this CD in, and I still jam that. It's one of my favorite CDs today because it's one of them CDs you can pop in and clean up your whole studio or your house, and man, or be driving in the car and you'll find yourself speeding because you're going too fast because you're jamming too hard, like, because it's just nonstop. He got it. I feel like he is the blend and master king of DJing because he knows the perfect songs, energy, vibes, melodies, and tunes to combine together. I learned that it's so much more to DJing than just throwing songs out there or what your audience telling you to play. You can't DJ like that. I learned a lot about DJing being with him. So, yeah, I think it's very well the art of he's the DJ, I'm the rapper, the way he put it together. And he sent me every track that I recorded on. All I did was able to be the artist, and I actually engineered and putting certain things together and placed in the drops and stuff. But he said, here, I want you to jam on the song. He picked out every track. He picked out every other song that's in between. I want you to rap on here, man. You will sound dope on here. Like, he was just picking them out. I'm like, just throw them to me. So he was in the back room putting mixes together while he giving me the track. I'm in the front room. I'm writing it. I'm dropping my verse. Then I give him the vocals and the song, send it back to him in the room. Then he mixed that one in. Then he sent me the next song. Then I'm in there. I'm like damn near knocking out a whole mixtape in one day. Like that we were next song. Because it's just the verse on songs that were already out and just kind of wrecking they beat, show them how to do it. To be honest, this is a mixtape that I've never been a person, even though I say I got mixtapes, Hustle Hard Part 1, Part 2, 3, 4, and 5, and not 5, 4 in the DVD. I said I've never actually recorded on mixtape songs. That's just something I stayed away from as being a Southside H-Town. But we didn't do mixtapes like East Coast did them from the South. East Coast, they knew the concept of mixtapes. We got that from them basically in the South. So when we were calling ourselves mixtapes, I was just calling them mixtapes. And I know we was just calling them mixtapes because they wasn't in the stores because we sold them ourselves out the trunk. So we called them a mixtape. But they was all original songs, them albums. I may have maybe 1 or 2 tracks on them, but they was mixtape tracks that I ain't never heard of myself. I just found them online. I'm talking about literally 1 or 2. That's off the Hustle Hard series. Yeah, but they really original songs.
Man, so what y'all got coming up next?
Next is He's a DJ, I'm the Rapper Part 2. We're working on Part 2. We haven't started yet, but that's the plan. And my Miss Houston album that I've been planning for the past couple years, but COVID stepped in. I got a lot of great songs for the album. It could be complete, but I like to put it together. I take my time with my album because when I put them out, it's the reason why you would call an album classic. It's something that you added in there that everybody that threw theirs together didn't add. That's the reason why. And I like to make classics. I don't just like to just make songs or just make albums. To make albums when you're just throwing stuff together. I don't like doing that. Yeah. I like to put something well put together.
Take your time with it.
Yeah. It's got to make sense.
Yeah.
It got to make sense, so it's a waste of time. Why am I doing it?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's, and for a lot of us artists that been in the game, sometimes I know that we all done felt like this, like it just don't feel like it's the time for us to drop what we got because the industry has changed so much and it's so watered down and it's just so, like brother said over here, so saturated and this and that. So it kind of took a lot of the elements that we're used to out. So we just don't want to be categorized. I know I don't want to be categorized in the middle of the nonsense.
Yeah.
So if I put out what I'm saying, what I'm talking about right now in the middle of the nonsense, with an audience full of nonsense, the credibility, right? It doesn't get the right ear, and it doesn't need to be in that category. That's the point. That's why I was like, why don't everybody have their own genre as far as they do that other stuff?
Yeah,
because that's not hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, at some point they probably gonna have to open it up. Like you got like rock, soft rock, heavy metal. All that shit is under rock, but it's genres within rock.
It gotta be another genre,
I mean,
bro.
hip hop is getting a little older.
I don't care if it's called mumble rap. I don't care if it's called jibber jibber. I don't care, but it's not authentic hip hop. So respectfully, as an artist, it's artistry, but it's not the same art. I respect art of all kinds. The shit that we won't cherish is still art for people. It's still art. If I drew a line and I drew it, that was my art and my creativity or something that I put on this, and somebody may see way more into it and somebody may see it as just a little line. You feel me? It's art. So I respect art. Whether if I like it or I don't like it, it's art, but it needs to go in this category. Don't put that in my category, or don't put me in that category. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that. And a lot of people try to do that throughout the years. I've been through the beef stuff. You know what I mean? When they try to put this person, well, you can't put her in a category with Cliche. You can't put Cliche in a category. And this is bigger than boasting. This is not boasting. This is just facts. How? How could you put this chick in a category against Cliche as being the best rapper alive, or whatever they call it nowadays, or the queen of South of this and that, next to her? She has not done what this lady has in her career and couldn't do. You've been put out by somebody. I have dropped over 15 albums. You know what I'm saying? Myself. Put together from top to bottom, finance, put out in the stores, online, wherever you call it. Before it was an online, before it was a push of a button. Did the one sheets. Faxed them out, mailed them out. We was, doing all of that. Actually ran as a business, so you can't categorize someone there because it's not a equal balance right there. It's not fair to that person. Yeah. Or this person.
What do you think about like the Megan Thee Stallion? You know what I mean? Like some of the newer.
Let me tell you what I noticed about Megan.
Cause she from y'all. She's South Park too.
I got something to say. She's South Park.
Ain't she from South Park?
Never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear that from?
I heard she went to some middle school over there, Albert Thomas.
I have no idea. I've never heard of that.
I want to say somebody.
She might be. I don't know. Yeah. But this is what I want to say about Megan. And you my first interview that I have done where I actually speak on her, and I'm finna speak on her as being a female from Houston. Myself. Any female to come out, I played the game different than every female that came after me that was beefing with each other just to get on because they thought that was the way to go. I would love the connection of the females and the women rising and us coming together and do it. I've tried it many times. It just don't work. It'd be a lot of catty shit. You feel me? But it didn't stop me from working.
You women within the city? Or just in the industry in general?
I'm going to speak on my city.
Okay.
Right now, but in general too. But let me speak on my city with the females when it comes to this. I literally watched, this is our problem. I've watched Megan Thee Stallion do an interview with a very well-known journalist like yourself, but he was from London or somewhere else. A lot of my fans had tagged me. And this guy threw, because this is what journalists do, he threw a CD in her hand. He was asking the questions. I love it. I'm from the South. Yeah, she whooping. And he was like, here, what do you think about this? He put that CD in.
It was a Cliche CD?
It was the Ladies of Gangsta Rap CD where Cliche was the only real live picture on it up front that's featuring Cliche, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, Gangsta Boo, Rage, females in a gang that someone had put out like right after my first album. And don't you know, not one time did she acknowledge. I knew the man threw that in her hand for a reason. Because I was on it. because she's from the South. She's from Houston. Why out of every city in the world he had that one? You feel me? The Ladies of Gangsta Rap. You can go and pull it up. It's a worldwide CD that was out. That the person who put that out put me frontline on that actual compilation, right? He put it in her hand, and she had it in her hand. And he was like, yeah, what do you think about this, Megan? Woo, woo. And she was like, yeah, Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim, Yasin. It took you more energy to not acknowledge Cliche on here. And you from Houston. You feel me?
Do you think, because here's another thing too, I know she real young, and there's just a real disconnect between like a lot of that like early 20s and like 35 and up, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people just weren't put up on game like that. Do you think she ain't know, or you think she really just...
Oh, no way. No way you could be in a position that you were in at this time. Even you. You feel me? I don't think you're in my age range. You know what I mean? But you know, and you're not even an artist. So better yet, if you was a female artist from the same city that I'm from, ain't no female that's rapping in Houston don't know a Cliche. And I'm not boasting. How could you be rapping and don't know who Cliche is? Like, personally, I don't know any Choice songs or Moni Love songs, but I know Moni Love. I know Choice. You see what I'm saying? Out of respect of who they said that came before me respectfully. And I'm not saying I don't know that. I probably, because I was so young and probably didn't know, but I know who they are. You see what I'm saying? You know. So anyway, you didn't acknowledge it. You went all the way around it. And the problem with Houston for me is that, because I don't care if I didn't like Megan. I don't know her, by the way, y'all. So I have no reason to dislike her right now. So my thing is, if I was in that position and I don't know her, even if I didn't like her, when I'm in Vegas or somewhere else out my city, do you know what Cliche is going to do? Rep for my city. H-Town, baby. You feel me? Already. Shout out to that girl Megan Thee Stallion. H-Town, we in this thing, baby. You know what I mean? I'm going to put my people. It ain't even about that one person when I make this statement. It's so much bigger than me.
It's representing the city, yeah.
It's so much bigger than me in a statement. But when we keep it to self and we hold that away from each other, that's why it's hard for us to grow as a unit and as a city and as a team. See, when Screw was alive, everybody was repping and we were screwed. That was the mediator. We S.U.C. We screwed up because we Houston. We changed Houston name to Screwston. Nigga, that's us. You feel me? That's us. That's why the world know who Screw is. That's why the world know about Screwed Up Records. That's why the world know about Screwed Up music. That probably ain't the first screwed up music they ever heard, but now you can't even call it whoever you was calling it before, because he made it such of a name, because not just because of Screw, but because of the whole entire city on one accord. You hear me? Now, all of that has vanished. And now, Houston is not represented the way we should be with Screwed Up. I'm using this as an example. So guess what? When they not receiving what they need from Screwed Up, you know what they doing? They replicating East Coast, West Coast. They taking our sound and making money off of it, because they gon' grab it if they ain't getting it. If they ain't getting it, they gonna go recreate it. And now Drake is Screwed Up and they represent because they want it. I don't knock him or nobody else that's representing for Screw and the sound, because that's what keeps him alive. That keeps him alive. It's something he created and we constantly hearing it. But where the people that we originated and played parts of this, where are we playing a part in this? Everybody eating? But Screw and Screw family? The Screwed Up clique, the Screw Stun, Houston? How? How do we have a Screwed Up fest? And the Screwed Up family ain't throwing it. They ain't owning it. Don't give me no booth. You feel me? They take the whole household name. If you want to do something, you're not finna take it. You finna split half with me, and we finna negotiate if you can do it and use that, bruh. But all these other different cultures and races, when I'm saying the different races, these people that don't even know who Screw is, like Wicked Cricket said. He said he goes to one of the school shops, Chinese lady, and she was like, you know who Robert Earl Davis is? And he was like, who is Robert Earl Davis? She don't even know who that is. She's selling. They order and they just say, yeah, that's cool. It's just selling. It's just selling. But do you look? Wow, look who owning this, and who got this? So that part we have to learn, and it's bigger than music. You know, that's within ourselves as our culture, as Black people, as a community of this stuff that we created. How to have ownership. Once again, you gotta own some. If you don't, somebody else gonna take your shit and own it. You know what I mean? That's where the real business at. So now, let's talk about the new schoolers versus the old schoolers here in H-Town. It's a different world, but it's about the business. Most people more interested in just looking like they got something, actually having it. I'm not. The first thing you asked me was like, well, you know, what you been doing? Why you ain't? I'm like, I'm out the looting. You like, why is that? You know what I mean? Because you just saying, well, I'm like, man, I gotta get some money. Making no money. It can. I didn't give it up. But my life, I got kids. I got a family. I got things that takes real money to go and make it happen. So I got to create businesses and other businesses. This is also a business. You feel me? But when you're doing it yourself, you got to take the time out and put to the side that budget for that business when you're ready to run it. So trust me, when I'm ready to run this business again, it'll be up and running. Because I can do that. Because I own it. I own it. When I'm ready to do it. My own studio, I got my own. I can do it when I want to. The industry is so different now. It's not breaking that type of money off. But you get people that just want to be famous so they can get that one little hit to sell something. And then it's not even quality stuff. It's just you selling your body. You know, you talking about drugs, guns, whatever. Who else? The hardest click. Everybody want to be down with that. But it's no substance to any of the art.
Yeah. With the earlier you had said you had a Fat Pat story when you said you
that
come
one.
Back to it.
Okay, y'all. No, I'm going in. Okay, y'all, check this out. To come into cliche brain right here. My Fat Pat story is, and a lot of people probably wouldn't even believe this, but I have never myself personally have met Fat Pat. And a lot of people were like, what? And I had to think about that. I was like, you know what? I actually never met him personally. Have we been in the same premises? Of course. Yes. We've been out there by the rockin' whoop, everybody in the park, everybody doing their thing. But I didn't know Fat Pat then. So I don't know him. He don't know me like that. But we know of each other. Because what happens is, when I'm just getting about to meet him, literally, right before I meet him, he was scheduled to come to the studio and record with me on this album.
Oh, man.
You know what song he was supposed to be on? Can't nobody show more love. Wow. Yeah. The day he was planning to come to the studio, I want to say it was that same exact day. If not, I might be a day off. He was killed. Damn. That he was scheduled to come. Because working with Snoop, PAT them, and Leslie them, they was like, I'm going to have Fat Pat to come and do the song with you on the Southside song that you do or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I don't like, so at this time, I'm like, cool. And then when it come down to it, they were all sad, came to the studio and was like, hey, the guy we was going to have you do the song with, he had just got killed, but we going to have his brother come and do this song with you. Southside, baby, we show nothing but love. All the players, playettes, gangsters, and thugs, everything's gravy. Coming down, and mama say this. And that's how that happened. Wow. So, after after all of that went through, Hawk was scheduled to come back into the studio, and he actually dropped his verse. He went and got his brother. Went and got Fat Pat brother, Big Hawk, and that was, I want to say, my first time actually meeting Hawk. when he came to Rakesh studio. We had a studio off of Ashcroft on the southwest side, and he recorded that song. I remember him in the studio recording that song. It was funny how he recorded, because he'll record and then he'll jump back off the mic when he get through. He was like, he'll rap his part, he just trying to get off so you don't hear that other noise. He was just, man, he was so crunk, and I'm like 4'10" in height. That's all you get. And he is like very, very tall and very big, right? So because like I said, everything was like a clique. Back then, it was the family orientation of things. This is how people got on songs and met each other and how we was doing stuff back then. It wasn't just like, scheduled feature this way. Everybody knew somebody. So the guys who was putting up money, and there was security for me, my partner coming through. Oh, his brother just got killed. Well, okay, when after this is done, we're gonna get his brother to come in and he gonna fill in right there. I'm like, okay, cool. He come in, then he started journeying with me on this project of promoting it. So wherever I went and did a show, Hawk was doing shows with me. I got some pictures. I should have brought them. Hey, look, I should have brought them. I'll send them to you.
Me. I'll add them in here.
Yeah, I got them too. So and some pictures where we did shows, and I had my dancers, my homegirl Keisha and Marquita. What's up, y'all? They was my dancers. Big Hawk come out on the stage, and we little bitty girls about this tall, and he'll come outside, baby, show nothing but love. And we was rocking all over Houston, Louisiana. He would come out of town. He would do a lot of shows with me. I'm thankful for that. So that built the relationship of how I know Hawk from that song, but his brother Fat Pat was actually the one who was supposed to be on that song first, and R.I.P. Fat Pat.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure. And R.I.P. Big Hawk too. A
lot. Come on, bro. You feel me? I don't even want to start the long list, but it's R.I.P. DJ Screw, R.I.P. Big Hawk, R.I.P. Fat Pat, R.I.P. Matt Grace, R.I.P. Gator. That was the first screwed up clique member that I remember losing. Gator. When Gator had shot himself. You know what I mean? And I was really close with Gator. I hooked him up with one of my homegirls back in the game, and we used to always, be around him and stuff. And just to hear that we lost him, and he was so young. We were young. You know what I mean? That was hard, man. So, R.I.P. Gator, R.I.P. Mafioso. We can take it back to Big Steve. You feel me? I had Big Steve on my own music. I wish I can find the song that I did with Big Steve. If anybody out there, any of y'all old school who know what I'm talking about, where is that song? I think you had it in one of your old computers. But like, Mafioso, Big Steve, man, it was just love back in the game. I remember growing up around a lot of dudes that had major love for one another and for me. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, and it wasn't a sexual thing. It was genuinely love for the art, what we was doing. It really was. Yeah. I wish for them days today, y'all.
Yeah. Talk about how does the SPC thing come together?
SPC for me?
Yeah.
Kicked off 2007. So it wasn't as long ago as people thought. Yeah. I've been on SPC around. I actually been hearing the K-Rino name since I dropped my first album, but I never knew who he was because I knew his girlfriend and her entire family. I did their hair and stuff, and she used to always say, "You need to do a song with my boyfriend." But everybody used to tell me that, their boyfriend, "Oh, girl, that's cool already. Tell him holla at my manners." I was like, "I'm her. Holla at my manners." And she was like, "Oh, I promise you need to do a song with my boyfriend." I just remember Nita singing this over and over and over for years while I was a teenager until when I met him, it wasn't even through her. I met him on a separate recording, then had to put two and two together. This who you talking about? So, I've been knowing K-Rino before 2007, but 2007 is when Cliche actually got SPC initiated. You know what I mean? And it's actually on my Hustle Hard DVD. I was doing an interview with K-Rino. I was putting out a DVD, and I wanted to interview him. And as we were talking, and every time, but I've also threw a lot of block parties and community events and stuff like that. And every time I wanted to do something positive for the community, the person who showed up out of everybody that I would ask to come that's supposed to have a name and be somebody of any kind of importance for the city or artist, K-Rino would be there. And he'd be like, before rapping, this is more important than anything on the panel, what we talking about in our communities, and you know what I'm saying, about these drugs out here, about our youth and what we need to do to stand up for one another and put the guns down. And he would always be the one that was at every last one of my events. So it naturally started being a part of we working in the community, and every time I make a call, he was there. He was there on call, and everybody couldn't just call K-Rino like that. But every time I called him for anything in the community, he ended up there. So I'm like, hey, I want to interview you for my DVD. And when I was talking to him, I'm like, say, bro, he was telling me his story on the Hustle Hard DVD. And I'm like, say, you from South Park, I'm from South Park. You stand for what I stand for. I'm riding with you. You ride with me already. Say, man, SPC need one more, because he was saying that at that time, SPC was like 700 strong worldwide as far as affiliates. So I'm like, say, I ain't finna be left out of this movement. This the type of, if I'm gonna be down with a clique, I wanna be down with a clique like this, because of what they stood for in hip hop on the underground scene of real artistry. But besides that, it was a very powerful movement. They had K-Rino with SPC and them, they have built their own it's like we have our own circle in the SPC. That organization was a lot more organized than other organizations that I'm used to, that I was with before. It was just kind of happening, but this thing was kind of more military, like militarized, however you say it, right? So he was like, man, sis, there you go. But respectfully from him in this initiation process, he didn't place Cliche as an SPC affiliate because he respected my history. See, this was 2007, but I dropped my first album in 1998. The first album in 1998. So here we are 17, 18 albums later right now while I'm talking to you. You feel me? So respectfully, he put me in the place naturally. It's not like he just said, like, if you ask that question about Screw, how do you know you in there? Like, it ain't like he just said it. He just placed me there. When it was time for a call and the clique got the call, I got the call from him directly, and what we're going to do, where we're going to meet up. If it was supposed to be in all black, whatever it is supposed to be, it was organization with it. I got the direct call. So it wasn't affiliates. It was him. So with this clique, I do stand on what he believes in and how he moves as this clique. I'm riding. You feel me? And then the music, hey, sis, I need 16. I need 8 bars on here. Do your thing. Leave it right there. Say, I need a verse from you. All right, just send it to me. Send it right back. It was more, like you said, more of an organization type thing as I was growing in this music thing. So just to say, this is one of the first cliques that I ever been with that actually just has represented with me as being a part of a group the way that they do. I've been in a lot of different little cliques, but it's a difference with this movement because they stand for so much more than just rap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So big shout out. SPC, K-Rino, baby. It's SPC versus all y'all. Know what I'm talking about?
Already, that's what
for real, I can say that because I know what they stand for. And I can challenge any clique against SPC versus all y'all. Ready. And I can say that with confidence because when you got the credibility behind it, say, man. Yeah. Say. What you talking about then? See, that's the era we came from with real skills. Real, and not hateful challenges. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't hateful challenges. It was just the art and the love of the challenge. Yeah. Okay, come on, what you got? You know what I mean? And just showing them skills. Like, man, you could just sit there and just listen to that wordplay that boy put together and be like, I still be like that on the stage with K. I'm supposed to be singing. I done turned into a fan. Yeah. No, not a fan, but it just draws you in. I got it, man. K ain't no artist like him. As an artist, I respect real artistry. Yeah. So when you get mesmerized in just that language and how he put it together and how he flip it, it ain't gotta have no music. It's just and say something that actually makes sense. It didn't make sense, but it ended up making sense. The way he put it. In the form, come on, man. All right. I'm just talking about real artistry at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I respect real artistry. I love real artistry. Yeah. I love it. I can sit back all day and watch great talent.
Who would you say is probably your favorite 5 artists of all time? It could be any
of all time. Michael Jackson is the one off the top. You feel me? Like Michael Jackson, there's no one who done it better. I totally respect Prince. Oh my God, Michael, just because of the full overall artistry. And let me tell you what really made me even respect Michael Jackson even more. When his last thing had came out, what it's called?
This Is It.
This Is It. Mm-hmm. When he dropped that, I watched how diligently he dealt with his entire casting. His whole crew, from the band members to the dancers to the lightings to the everybody.
He was hands-on with everything.
He was hands-on, but how diligently he handled everybody. Because I know me. So, and we naturally will be in a frustration mode and we get attitudes with each other while we trying to work. Say, bro, why you doing it? Naturally. No. This man respectfully, could you do it this way? Don't do that. I'm not being funny talking like him.
Yeah, no, he was just really patient with everybody.
It was so patient and got what he wanted out of it. And then he turns into this monster in the front of it and was on point with his shit. Like, that is artistry. So, Michael Jackson, number one. I'm looking at your number one up there on his right. I'm like, number one off the top. Prince, the way he put things together, what he stood for. And when he stood for it, he stood for it. I don't care what you want to call me, but he had the freelance. I feel like I have a piece of both of them. That's why I resonate with them. He walked in and how he used to just come in on even some of the new artists at the time, in his time, and he'll get on the stage with them and just compliment on their show and just start playing or something and just listening to those artists that happened to, their stories about him, and that's real artistry because he did that for a reason, because he seen something in you. He loved the naturalness in you. It was Shaka Khan. You know what I mean? And then he got behind her. He was pushing just that respect as one great artist that see another great artist. And I just want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I can help you any kind of way, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? So just seeing that with him and the respect that he played every single instrument that was in his music, and he sung them in every note and everything, that's artistry. I love it.
Yeah.
Another artist I respect off the top of the head is Missy Elliot. When I want to bring it a little more up.
Yeah.
I respect her artistry. Sing, rap, write, produce, and then bring your own mind. Not just because she does all of these things, but because she know how to utilize them and put them all together. Because you can know how to do all of them, but you might not know how to use them.
Yeah.
You know how to do it, but you don't know how to use it. She knew how to bring about and not scared to be who she was in that space. I'm going to create my own sound. And I don't mind, and I'm going to give it to all the other women. She worked with so many other women and brought it together. And that song that they did with all the women was the Ladies Night. Yeah, and you could see the love in the Brad and Kim and all of them that was in there. And because it was a natural vibe that was given, that happens. That's why songs like that end up being hits, because you can feel when it's natural and that energy is in there. It flows out to the world. It's energy. You know what I mean? So Missy Elliot. She has an energy and a respect for her artistry. I respect her artistry because she has a natural gift. Then, that's 3. 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Who's going to hit me? I did Michael, Prince, Missy. Now I got to tap into my R&Bs. Because I love R&B. That's what I listen to all the time. And Mary J is the next person that hit me. You know what I'm saying? I love Mary J. And when I say rawness, her realness of her music, and it's felt through the music. I love real music. So that, to me, that's real artistry. You don't have to be, not that she's a bad singer, but you don't have to be the best singer in the world to be the best singer.
Right.
You feel me? If you know how to deliver that, and the rest that come with you, you know what I mean? Cliche is cliche because I'm me. I'm going to do me. Like, that's why you asked me about my singing and my rapping in it. That's just what I want to do. They was telling me in the beginning, I think you did too much singing on the first album. I think you did. Everybody had their opinions. You feel me? I'm going to do me. If I feel like singing on this one, I'm finna sing right now. I'm finna get crunk. I want to rap for the rap. That's what I'm going to give me. You know what I mean? So I learned that at a very early age. Okay, number 5. Who I want to give it to? Who I want to give my number 5 to? I'm gonna think of somebody more up to date, because let me think, who is up to date that I respect today like that. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this one to my girl Fantasia. I'm gonna give it to Fantasia when I say more up to date, just because she's a great talent. She has her own unique, sound. But she respectfully, I as an artist, I watch who she watched and how she grew up into herself, and I seen that she grabbed from the Patti LaBelle's and grabbed from those other great artists and brought it into herself. I love people that know how to create and find like themselves in something. But I actually went to one of her concerts before. In the concert, gave me so much more respect for her than what I just knew of her through the industry, because I seen of me as far as a natural talent and her loving what she do and on this super high when she get there, and I don't care how it's going down, I'm gonna kick these shoes off, say, y'all, we finna get into this. Now this was about the people. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the money, just to go and do the show, get off the stage and run off. It was about the people, because when we love to do what we do, and that energy that's given to us from that people that's respecting our music and the love for what we saying and what we doing, we in there. She lost in it. She lost in it and she in it. So she did a great performance to catch my number 5 right now. I got to give her a big shout out on
That's
that.
what it is. Michael Jackson, Prince, Missy Elliot, you say Fantasia, and who was the other one?
Who was that?
Who was over 4?
Oh, I gave Mary J.
Mary J. Blige, for sure. That's what's up, man. Well, man, I appreciate you coming through. This has been cool.
I appreciate you for the invite,
Yeah.
I appreciate
both
you
of
for
y'all,
the
man.
invite.
Tricky C ain't saying too much. She over there chilling.
Everybody used to him. They be like, I be so crunk on myself in the car.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna ask you. This is funny to me, and I wasn't gonna ask you early in the interview. I'm just sitting. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable.
You can't make me uncomfortable.
But where does all this come from? You just a little pint size, you know what I mean? But you just a ball of energy, man. Like, who does it? Is it a family member? Like, where you get your personality from?
It probably came from my daddy.
Yeah. You've always been live.
My
like
daddy
this.
thought he was Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he's little like me, and he was super crunk, and he was so little, but he's the fighter. He was the energy. He was the I ain't gonna say he was a fighter, but he was the tough guy back then, like my daddy was the guy with, I guess that was they lane back then. They had the big shotgun. My daddy a country boy, you know what I'm saying? Had his boots on and thought he was Michael with his curl, and say he had the energy. When it's time to get the party started, it's on and popping. So I realized that I probably got that energy more so from my dad than my mom. But definitely, I'm all energy.
Definitely.
I'm all energy.
Yeah.
So when I talk to you, it's energy. When you talk to me, I receive an energy.
Yeah.
That's what I know. So when I do shows, it's the energy that I give to people. I know what my gift is from God. God gave me the gift of being able to share an energy that some people may not have, but I can give it to you. So utilize that to uplift and build, and learn what your talents and your gifts are, and use them to edify our people, lift them up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a big thing. I definitely want to, before you close out, to know, you might don't know about the ARC that we have. It's the Artist Respecting Communities. That's the organization that's put together under the leadership of Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad with Mosque 45 here in Houston, Texas. That was started with K-Rino, that reached out to a lot of the artists all over Houston, which a lot of artists from Paul Wall and Trey them and everybody has been like affiliated with by doing works in the community to help build up using our hip hop platform. So I've done a lot of stuff throughout the community in Yates High School, Sterling, Worthy, and all our Colored Middle School, and all these schools where our kids are doing, hurtful and harmful things to each other to help stop the gang violence and the gun violence. So we're in the schools on behalf of the hip hop community, actually, to help steer the hip hop community back away from where it's going, because that was leading to more gun violence and more gang activity, because they were putting the things into their lyrics, and they, it's calling out, well, you heard that song with beef, and it was all of that. So we just kind of try to teach the new generation what real hip hop is, and to love it, learn to love it, because it's something to love when you utilize it for something good.
Right, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, man, any last words y'all got before we get up out of here? She can see like shit. I ain't got shit.
Man, we just appreciate you. I've been seeing you on Facebook quite a bit.
Man, appreciate it, man.
So I appreciate you and what you're doing for the community as far as keeping real music alive.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Cliche, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and give some props to you right here, Donnie
Appreciate
Houston.
it.
Y'all on the Donnie Houston show. What is your podcast?
It's Donnie Houston Podcast. Yeah.
Huh?
This is
Donnie Houston Podcast. It is.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
on the Donnie Houston show? I gotta say respectfully, like I told you before, as a journalist, I gotta give you mad props, because it's more than just sit down with the artist and just like, hey, let me interview you, when you actually know what you're doing and your platform, and I've heard a lot about you, and I just thank you for thinking of cliche and actually doing that, because a lot of people have tried to X cliche out, because a lot of my energy is so real that a lot of motherfuckers couldn't handle it. Like, real talk. So she gonna tell the truth, so you better shut up or don't call it. You know what I'm saying? I went through all that, but thank God for the new me. You know, I don't live like I used to back then, and we all shouldn't. You should be grown up now. But for a long time, the industry has tried to keep me quiet, because there's no way in my status. I'm legendary because of the work I put in, the era that I came out as being one of the first Houston well-known hip-hop artists that been putting it down. You know what I'm saying? Besides a Choice that dropped something. I believe she was with Rap A Lot. Was she with Rap A Lot during that time?
Yeah, Less Money.
And who did Less Money? And I said Moni Love.
Yeah,
that was Less Money, y'all. So I apologize. I said,
yeah.
Who was here? That was Less Money.
Less Money was, yeah. She was
yeah, so I apologize.
But you had Choice before her, and then you had Less Money. Yeah.
Yeah, but I said
But you said Money Love earlier.
Yeah, so I want to apologize. It wasn't Money Love. It was Less Money, y'all. That's who I was referencing to earlier. Because, like I said, I was a lot younger, so I didn't know their music, but I know that these women came before me and put some stuff out and pay that homage. But the difference between me and them, respectfully, is that I'm still pursuing the career, and I never stopped dropping music at this point. So when you try to keep me irrelevant, when I'm still currently dropping albums, it ain't like I went and hid under a rock and still dropping music online and still doing shows and still part of the hardest clicks out here in H-Town. Why? It take you more energy to not mention the cliche. So I thank you for letting me be here on your platform and letting the world know, hey, this one of the legends here from H-Town. I'm not caught up in this queen shit. I'm not even caught up in this legend shit. Like, real talk. But facts are facts. Where it lay. You lay them down and see where the dice gonna roll. It's gonna roll. If you say legend, where it's at? How long you been doing this? How long she been doing that? How many albums she dropped? How many she dropped? You feel me? Who cares if 97.9 didn't play or did play somebody's music? My career ain't based off no radio station, you know? Because the times are different. You know, that was one time they did play my songs on the radio, and that was times they didn't.
You can't deny, you know, when
but
you talk
people
about
try to say that.
You can't deny the cliche contributions. You know what I mean? You've been a part of too many
Come on,
classic
man. Too many classic albums, too many classic hits.
Yeah,
from mine to other people's albums, multiple.
Classic clicks. When we talk about, you know,
classic
two of the strongest clicks to come out of this city, you know.
So how you don't know who Cliche is? I'm like, this a gangster rap. I don't like that about us.
I don't know. We gonna see, man. We gonna see if maybe we can try to get y'all to piece this up, man. Because maybe it's just a misunderstanding. You know what I mean?
It's not a misunderstanding. It's nothing to be talked about. What happened, it had already happened.
Yeah.
I'm just addressing it.
Yeah.
It's nothing to fix. I don't hate her for it, but I'm just using that as an example. Why? Because she's not the only person that done that. People try. I'm just telling you, it takes more energy. But nigga don't know. Everybody know who Screw is. But if he come here and the nigga put screw tape in his hand, but it happened to be a Hawk on the cover and Screw right there, but it take him on energy. Yeah, that's Big Hawk. But you never mentioned Screw?
Yeah.
In his city? Oh, okay. I'm just saying it took you more energy not to say anything about that person than to say it. Anyway, moving along. We grown.
It's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. So, man, Cliche, DJ Tricky C.
He's the DJ. I'm the rapper. Y'all make sure y'all check me out. I love MissHouston.net, and then Miss is MS. And also check out my store, MissHoustonShop.com.
And y'all social media?
Social media is Cliche for Real. That's CLCHE, the number 4, real.
I'm DJ Tricky C on all the social media platforms, and I do too have my online shop where I sell all that Hiram Clark merchandise as well as Madison merchandise. MixItUpInc.com.
Mix it up. TE.com.
What would I do without her?
MixItUpTE.com. All right. Get y'all merch. Y'all get y'all SPC merch and all that too.
That's what it is. And y'all already know DonnieHoustonWorld.com. Hit the website up, all that. You know what I'm saying? But
what is it again?
DonnieHoustonWorld.com.
DonnieHoustonWorld.com. All right, now.
For sure.
I'm in your world, bro.
For sure. And if y'all watching, you not subscribed. Turn the alerts on, all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Click the button.
That's what it is, man. I'm Donnie Houston. Cliche, DJ Tricky C, it's the Donnie Houston Podcast. We out.
Donnie Houston.